Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I'll be talking about another MGTOW topic. Now, it's been a while since I made a MGTOW video, but I just got inspired recently to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. Freedom of desire as a MGTOW. Now, many men are driven by sexual urges, sexual desires. That is the primary sort of function of our organism, is to reproduce, as I've said in my previous videos. And it is this desire that creates a lot of complex problems. It is this desire that drives the man mad. He either falls in love or falls in lust, whatever it may be. And he loses bearing upon all the things he's worked towards in life. Now, I consider myself an occultist. I practice various metaphysical things. And when you get down to the bottom of it, a majority of it is purely psychological. If you look at Tibetan monks, or monks in general, if you look at, honest priests and stuff like that, they live a life of sort of celibacy and freedom from carnal desires. Now, is that the proper way to go? Well, there's various different roads. If you look at Aleister Crowley, he went down the path of hedonism, indulging in a massive amounts of drugs, sexual activities, and just endless, fun times. But then you have the other side of the spectrum. You have a monk that's in the mountains just, eating a bowl of rice a day, not having any sex, not indulging in any sort of pleasurable activities, just living sort of a masochistic lifestyle. Now, which way is proper? I cannot tell you that. That is up to you to decide. My belief is that if you look into existentialism, the philosophy, Albert Camus specifically said that the futility of everything. It's so funny. He said something along the lines, I'm messing up this quote, but he says that if I wake up in the morning and I make myself a cup of coffee or I hang myself, there's no inherent difference, whether it doesn't matter. It's so futile, it's so ridiculous, but this is the kind of world we live in. And once you accept that, it is easier to just free yourself of all the bullshit. Now, I'm not saying free yourself from all sexual activities. I'm saying free yourself from that aspect that is a detriment. Anything that is a detriment. So, if you could adjust yourself to a path where you could have sex as much as you want, as many times as you want, without going into the complex problems of it, without losing your mind over some woman or, losing your financial stability because of all that stuff, then that's the power in it. That's the hidden power in it. To me, it's not abstinence. It is the mindful detachment of all the bullshit. Pretty much taking all the good stuff out of it and leaving all the crap behind. So, what does this allow you to do? As a man, you are not weakened by sort of any desire that a female may throw upon you. You are financially stable. You can live your ideal life. Now, getting into ideal lifestyles, that is up to you to decide as well. Many people want a house with a picket fence, a dog and a family and a wife and all that stuff. Other people want to be rock stars. Other people want to be even criminals. Other people, it's very subjective. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. Now, my personal ideal life is just to be financially set and free to live a peaceful lifestyle. Because a lot of people say, yes, freedom of desire for money comes into play here too. It's like, what's the point of freeing yourself from sort of sexual desires and sexual complications when you still have the desire for money? That could also drive you mad. Like I said, the thing is to find a happy medium. Pursue the things you enjoy without getting too deep into it. Like me personally, I would like to have a nice house somewhere peaceful where it's warm all year round. I could have a couple of fruit trees in the backyard, a little garden. I don't really need company. I could be alone. I just want the money. But I also want the luxuries of life, because the human life cycle is so, like I said, so futile. What's the point of not enjoying it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I want a Ferrari if it's a possibility? Fuck it. I'd like to drive a Ferrari. If I had a choice to drive a Ferrari or a bike, I'd obviously choose the Ferrari. It's common sense. Would it make me happy? Not necessarily. But it would make me feel more just sort of, how should I say, just the freedom of enjoyment is what I'm saying. I could take my Ferrari on a spin to the beach, hang out on the beach, That's what I'm getting into, the financial stability portion of it. Once you lose the desire of female games and all that stuff, you have the ability to focus on things that make you happy. So you achieve financial stability, and then you don't have to worry about that, because there's nothing worse than that. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I could be happy without money, this and that. Yes, there are some people that could do that, but me personally, I don't enjoy that. I don't like the feeling of worrying about, oh, I have bills to pay, or I gotta pay rent, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. There's always that stress on your mind. There's always that hustle. It's like, shit, I'm $50 low. I don't have enough money to pay my bill. They're gonna cut my damn thing off, and then what the hell am I gonna do after that? I just fucking hate that feeling. This is why it's a good thing to strive for financial stability first and foremost. It's very much like the saying in Scarface. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. But once you have the money and the power already, the women kind of become, well, mostly everything becomes kind of ridiculous, because it's like before, it's like you struggled to pay your bills and this and that, and now you're just dropping 10 grand on a Rolex or whatever your heart desires. You know what I mean? But what do you enjoy more? I talk to a lot of people. They say, I could live like a hermit. I could live in the forest. I could build my own thing. I could scavenge for my own food. But it's not until you actually experience it yourself that you realize the importance of money and sort of fallback options. There's a lot of people my age or even younger that say, fuck it, I'm going to embrace sort of the nomad hippie lifestyle. I'm going to go off and be free for everything. I don't have to worry about paying bills because I won't have any bills to pay. I don't have to worry about this and that. Okay, but then you have to worry about survival. You have to worry about, where am I going to get my next drink of water? Where am I going to get my next piece of food? Where am I going to take a shower? Where am I going to sleep? All this stuff. And to me, that is something that is very difficult. If you abandon everything and just go off into the forest, sure, you could learn how to live like that. But it is a very complicated life. You know what I'm saying? Now, the happy medium would be to be rich and live that lifestyle. That way you have all the basic needs in life and you don't have to worry. If anything happens, you always have a fallback option. You're like, fuck it, this isn't working out. I could go back to the city. I could do whatever, I could do something else. But without the money, you're screwed. What happens if, like, let's say you make a cabin and you make a well, but all of a sudden your well, like, screws up or something? Then what are you going to do? You got to dig and find another spot for water or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? It gets complicated. You don't have any you don't have any fallback options. And that could lead to a sort of demise. Because it's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So the ideal life, in my terms, as a MGTOW, would be just an abundance of everything. Good food, the basic stuff, simple stuff. Good food, good entertainment, good smokes, a good drink, beautiful women every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like the simple things, like the things you read about in, the Odyssey. This guy goes on a journey, on an adventure, on a ship, whatever, ends up at some sort of island paradise with a whole bunch of beautiful women and intoxicating Blue Lotus laced wine, and you just drink and you just sleep and you just drink and you have sex and you eat and you're catered to by all these beautiful maidens and all that stuff. And in the book they describe this as a stupor. Even if you watch the movie The Odyssey, people are trying to snap him out of it. It's like, dude, like, what the hell's wrong with you? Come on, we have an adventure to go on, we have a journey to go on, we can't just stay here, we're trapped here, can't you see that? Well, one way or another, I believe that it's choose your poison, so to speak. It's the best way I could describe it. Choose your poison. Some people like to smoke. If it gives you enjoyment, then do it. What the fuck is the problem? Some people like exercise. Sorry about that. Ridiculous people put fucking mufflers on their Honda Civics pretending it's a Ferrari. What was I getting into again? I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Like I said, some people like smoking, some people like drinking, some people like to party, some people like to read books, some people like to do, exercise. And these indulgences may not necessarily be the best most of the time. If you have too much sex, you run the risk of getting an STD. If you drink too much, it damages you in one way. Even if you do something healthy to a certain degree, it could be detrimental. If you lift too many weights, you could pull a muscle. If you do this, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say through this video is not to get into things with a fanatic mindset, just to get it with a balanced mindset. Work out because you enjoy to work out, but don't overdo it. It's the same thing with everything. This is why I believe if I ever had a great sum of money, it would be very, very easy for me to use that to achieve the happiness I seek. Because it's not like these other people where you hear they win the lottery and then they just blow all their fucking money. They get a mansion, they get a Ferrari, they get all this, they spend all their money in like a year and then they're broke again. And then they have to go back to their shitty old lifestyle. wouldn't work like that for me. Because through my struggles in life and through my understanding in life, I realized the importance of, conserving money and saving money. I spent a lot of time being just super broke, Spent a lot of time just walking into a store and wanting, a new shirt or a suit or whatever. And it was just such a strong desire. But, when you're broke, you can't have that. But then when you're rich, does it have that same appeal? Yes and no. Like I said, that Rolex has more value when you work for it for like 2 years instead of just getting it in a day and then the next day you get another one. You know what I'm saying? But one way or another, you just got to be smart with it. That's as simple as it is. If you have the money and you know how to manage it, you can do it. You could have whatever the hell you want. You could have everything. Just don't go crazy. And don't trust people too much. Like I said, if you lose the trust of women, so to speak, you gotta lose the trust of other things too. Because you could finally start living your dream lifestyle, start throwing parties, start throwing, all these things. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get drunk, they're gonna jack your stuff, and that's it. So like I said, fuck it. Fuck that shit. Find a happy medium. And as a MGTOW, you have all the time in the world to do that. And with this sort of transition of freeing of desires, like, it's a progression. You realize how food, before you used to like expensive foods and stuff like that. Now it's like, I'm tired of just, spending the time to eat. I'm tired of sleeping. I'm tired of all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, it's like, we sleep a good portion of our lives. Imagine if we didn't have to do that. You know how much time we would save? You know how many things we could accomplish? I bet that there would be way more successful people if this kind of basic desires were fulfilled already. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just rambling about just random stuff right now. Just wanted to do a quick kind of MGTOW video because it's been a while. So like I said, find the happy medium. As a MGTOW, you got everything to yourself. You got all the money, you got all the time. Just do it with what you enjoy. I'm making gaming videos now because I enjoyed gaming from a very young age. And it's like, if I like to do it, then I'm gonna do it, And there's a lot of girls, a lot of women that are like, oh, that's pathetic, a lot of just women just don't like gamers, It's like, oh, that's stupid. Why are you playing games? Why don't you pay attention to me? Or oh, that's just childish. Or fuck, I don't have to worry about that shit anymore. I do what I want. I play games as long as I want, as much as I want, without having to worry about that shit. Because I'm not into the whole dating scene anyway. So I don't give a fuck, If women were to reject me for gaming, for example, I don't care. Because I would reject them regardless, because I don't give a fuck. I like being alone. I like being a lone wolf, so it doesn't fucking bother me. You know what I'm saying? So, back then and before in high school, it's just like, oh yeah, I gotta stop gaming and I gotta start fucking dealing with women. Or even later on when you're dating, it's like, oh, I gotta stop gaming a little bit and pay attention to, fuck that. Pay attention to my girlfriend, fuck that. Dude, life is simple. What brings me more enjoyment is just freaking doing what I want whenever I want. Gaming for as long as I want, eating whatever I want. If I want to take a shower, I could take a shower. If I don't want to take a shower, I don't have to take a shower. This is the beauty of it. It doesn't affect me the way it used to affect me before. Because before it's like, oh, I need to take a shower because then, this girl will say I'm filthy, or I lack hygiene, or, I don't have to do shit anymore. I do things on my own terms because I'm the only one who has to deal with it. And that's the beauty of it. Nobody else is exposed to my gaming, or, like, let's say I drop the hygiene levels. Nobody will fucking care because I avoid people like the plague. And in a way, I'm happier because I don't have to force myself to do anything I don't want to. I have to be like, oh, I have to take a shower because if I don't, this girl won't go out with me or whatever. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Pretty crazy ideologies I have, but it's for the good. If you listen to what I say, if you pay attention to what I say, and you take, like I said, the good things out of it and adapt it to your own way, there's no problem. Do what you love. Do what works for you. That's about it, people. Peace out.